Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up? Coach Bruce is in the studio. I'm going to jump right in to talking about my podcast that I don't really ever talk about on my live stream. But today, my live stream is going to be my podcast because today will mark my 27th episode of season one of the Authentic on Air podcast with Bruce Alexander. That's me. Um, I really enjoyed the first season. I think that I had a lot of great conversations and I really got to explore a wide variety of things having to do with authenticity. That was awesome. I enjoyed it. I really did. But I want to narrow down in season two. I want to make a big shift and I want to really focus on the intersection between neurodiversity and authenticity. I want to talk about and two, the struggle of ADHD people, autistic people to show up as themselves, what their obstacles have been, what ways they found to cope with this relationship of being themselves, masking, imposter syndrome, all this stuff that has to do not specifically with being neurodiverse, but really, really ramps up whenever you get into the neurodiverse brain. It's important to me because as an ADHD life coach, I deal with it a lot. I know it's a big struggle for I'm gonna just go out there and say most ADHD people really struggle with being able to show up as themselves. And the worst part to me is how many people don't even realize that this is a struggle that they're having. That a big part of the reason why they don't understand the lack of connection to their lives is because they've been trained from very early on to suppress so much of who they are in order to fit in with the neurotypical norm. Nothing bad being said about neurotypicals. That norm is great for them. But telling people that they need to sit still, not talk so loud, not talk so much, not not be so unfiltered, not share about this, not have fixations about that, telling people so many different rules about who they are supposed to be in every other situation has made it pretty hard to know who you are as a neurodiverse person. And I want to get into that. Like, I want to dig deep into it. I want to talk to experts who are in the field. Being a life coach myself, I'm starting to consider myself as an expert because I'm doing a lot of research as I work. I've also lived the life and I've been through a lot of pretty extreme experiences, which have cranked my experience level up to 1,000. I've already got a conversation going on with a certified therapist who's going to come on the show, and we're going to talk about neurodiversity and his story as well. I've got a couple different things lined up, and I'm really excited about this new direction. Which I don't know, it may sound like the same old crap to somebody else, but to me, it's much more. It's much more like focused in. I feel like the story before was just like I was excited because I'm ADHD to be able to really move around anywhere because how you show up as yourself in any situation is pretty broad. Even as just how you show up as yourself as an ADHD person is still pretty broad, but I feel like that will keep me focused on who I have on the show and it'll help me build my following of people who really care about the neurodiverse community and are excited to engage in a space and a platform that really creates space for being neurodiverse and being yourself at the same time and not having to apologize for that. So that's really exciting to me. Also, what will be new this season is I'll do some live episodes in which I'll record video like this and record it live. Um, well, I mean, usually I record it live, but I'll actually stream it live. I'll also be doing a lot of solo episodes. Doing these live streams has made me so much more comfortable just having a conversation with myself. And I find that there's some really good topics and streams of thought that arise just from me talking. So if you don't love hearing me talk, then you might want to unfollow this podcast. If you think I've got some pretty good ideas and am interesting to listen to, then tell somebody about it because I think that season two is going to be even greater. Also, along with that, I've already made a a new intro song. That was fun. I always love engaging with a little bit of music creation. It's difficult for me because I don't do it often enough, but whenever I finally make something that works, I'm really excited to share it. So that'll be the new sound you hear rolling into season two. Um, I also want to talk. There was a couple of episodes I recorded that I want to make mention of that I didn't get to, that I haven't released, and I don't think I'm going to. One of them had to do with a woman who was in a situation of domestic violence, and as far as I know, she was not able to get out of that situation. At least not yet. I hope that she, I praying for her, sending her all the energy, light, love, and all that good stuff her way. But I don't feel comfortable reaching out to her and asking that question because I don't want to start some static. Just finding out it's like, hey, you gone yet? Like that seems dumb. So that one's not going to be released. Another one is a guy who I had a pretty good conversation, but the entire time I kind of felt like I couldn't get to who this guy really was. And we had a little conversation after the episode, and as I spoke to him, he felt like somebody completely different. Um, I don't have a problem with that guy. He seems like a nice dude, but the experience of having kind of felt like I dealt with two different people did not feel like I had an authentic episode to put out from that conversation. And because of that, I don't want to air it. I've gone back and forth over and over again on it. And what I realized is that this is my show. If I'm not comfortable with it, then there's no way I should put it out. I never should have even considered it. From the time I finished the episode and had that conversation with him and he felt different, I knew that I didn't want to air that episode because I didn't get to talk to the real person. If he hears this and knows that his episode didn't air and wants to go again and give me the real him, I will make space for that because I absolutely understand the struggle to really be yourself a public in a public scenario and not I'm not going to say not filter who you are because not all of us is for everybody, but to represent yourself to a degree which you're comfortable of who you really are. And I didn't feel like I got that. So, anyways, it's all like I'm kind of tearing it all down. I really loved season one of the logo and how I presented everything and all that stuff. But I like my camo pattern, so I'm going to use it somehow. But mostly, like I'm going to strip the logo, stripping the podcast cover, how I do YouTube thumbnails. I'm starting all over on it because um, for one, I've grown and the show has changed, but also like it hasn't been getting that much. It hasn't reacted or it hasn't really landed that well with the audience. Like I haven't really had any of it really take off. So why not try something new? Why not have a fresh perspective and be willing to let go of the past and be willing to grab the future? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to push that old season one off the cliff and start brand new with season two. And I don't know if this will be a season to season thing, but I know that this direction is definitely going to be much more in the right direction. I also, if season two still doesn't feel narrowed down enough after 20 episodes, then maybe I'll ratchet it down even further. And I don't know. I'll think about it. But I hope that this is going to be the sweet spot in the right space that I'm trying to create. Which I once again I love the space that I created before, and I really felt like I had some great conversations, but they didn't reach the audience like I wanted them to, and that's I want to create a big impact. I want to help a lot of people. I want to be of service to a lot of ADHD adults, specifically parents. So I need to craft and hone the message in a way that's actually going to get to them so they can hear it. And that didn't happen last season. So we're going to try some new stuff. Anything else? I feel like those are the main things I want to hit. Um, if you know anybody who is neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, um, who would like to share their story, I would love to have a conversation with them and see if they're right for the show. If you know any experts, therapy, fitness, really any experts at all, ADHD entrepreneurs, autistic entrepreneurs who would like to share their story on a podcast, please reach out to me and get me connected with them, because I'm looking into a whole new field of guests that I don't really have a whole bunch of contacts in. I know several ADHD people, but I don't know any that are just on fire to tell their stories. So if you know somebody, hit me up. And if you are ready to see this next phase, I would love to, hear some comments on this. I would like to, get some reviews on the podcast. I would love to see some engagement from the audience. I don't get a lot of engagement, and I don't really care why. It doesn't, whatever, it doesn't bother me. I know that I'm doing what I love, and I know that I'm serving the, a certain number of people who are appreciating what I'm putting out. But I would love to see some of the feedback so I can help make it better for those who do enjoy it. I want them to enjoy it even more. And those who don't enjoy it, give your feedback. Tell me why you don't. Tell me what you think I could be doing better. I would love to hear it. And I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt, but I also take serious feedback seriously. So that is it for today. I'm going to go and wrap it up. Um, I'm excited for episode 1 of season 2, and I'm excited to let you guys hear my new podcast music and see my new. That means I've got a deadline to get all my new assets done by next. Well, I got to have them done by next Wednesday night, so I can roll it out on Thursday. Um, it'll be the same bat time, same bat channel. Thursdays at 6:30. Or sorry, 5:30 a.m. for the audio, and at 6:30 a.m. for YouTube. That is it for me today. Please also make sure I shout this out. Um, I think I'm going to switch my 9-step course for ADHD dads to improve communication. I think I'm going to start giving it away for free. Um, what do you guys think about that? Hit me up. Let me know. I've already got my How to Life workbook out there for free. I'm really trying to get some people taking me up on this so I can start getting some feedback from the people and see what they think about this. I put a lot of hard work into these assets, and I think that they're really helpful. My clients who've done them, they really really love the products I've created, but there's not a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to get a large amount of feedback. So, all right, that is it for today. Talk to you next time. Be yourself and love yourself. Bye, everyone.